It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, the first half of today's video, I want to talk about geopolitics. And I'm going to ask a question right off the bat here. Are we ready to go from mitigating threats to eliminating the threats? Stay tuned for more on that. Later in today's episode, I'm going to talk about ChatGPT for the very first time. Because I believe that a lot of people are looking at ChatGPT, getting all excited about it, which is a fantastic thing to do because it is a pretty awesome product. But at the end of the day, ChatGPT should teach our industry a very, very valuable lesson. And I'm going to share that lesson with you. Let's talk about geopolitics. If you look on my Sharp Interactive board, you see two balloons. You see the one that was flying around North America, the China spy balloon flying around North America. And then over here, you see that balloon being blown up. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe that all over the free world, we're going to start eliminating threats as opposed to mitigating them. Think about all my friends that have these government contracts using China-made printers or copiers. Just think about it for a second, folks. It's going to be tough for a lot of you here. But those agencies were told about the security features that those products have. Those agencies were told about the certifications that those products have. And that's all fantastic stuff. And those agencies are probably feeling a little bit safe. But now are they asking themselves, do we really want to mitigate this or just eliminate the threat altogether? And I believe the answer to that question is going to be they're going to eliminate the threat altogether. Now, if you're in the print business, that's a pretty tough thing to hear because most of the components for print come from China. But I believe there's going to be a real push to change that real quick. A while back, I was doing an episode and I said that maybe Konica would outsource their manufacturing to 9-Star. That is off the table. Completely off the table. When I shared with you Konica Minolta's financials earlier this week, and they had that statement in there where they said they're looking at their manufacturing. Maybe they have to revise some things based on geopoliticals in the near and long term. Konica Minolta, like all the other OEMs, are thinking about this. They're thinking about it hard. A while back, I talked about the consolidation of manufacturing. I brought up Foxconn. I said maybe Foxconn could be the manufacturer. You have Foxconn and you have 9-Star. Folks, the more I think about it, that's probably where we're going to end up. You'll have 9-Star making all the equipment for the dictatorships around the world. And maybe Foxconn's making all the equipment for the free world. Geopolitics is going to play a big role in our industry. Geopolitics is going to play a big role in all technology industries. And the industries, all the actors in the industries are going to have to decide, do we want to continue to mitigate this threat or do we just want to eliminate the threat? I believe, like we blew up that balloon, that the world, the free world, is going to start looking at eliminating the threat. Because sometimes eliminating the threat is a whole lot less costly than mitigating the threat. And so now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about this open AI, ChatGPT. I want everybody to think about data because data isn't about what you think the data is. Data is about the people that aggregate data as they explore the data, what they find. And what they find when they explore aggregated data, they might not even imagine as they collect the data. Just like you don't imagine as you give away your data. ChatGPT should be the slap in the face to the industry just how potentially dangerous overreaching OEMs are. Think about our friends over there at HP grabbing up all the data through Amplify, and the dealers are thinking to themselves, well, it's just a serial number. It's just a customer location. It's just a customer telling them when we're going to fill up the toner. We're going to be able to learn some things about the customer so we can make more money. At the end of the day, it's not about any of that. It's about what HP, as they aggregate all this data and they explore all this data, what they determine the data's value to be. Back when Google was started, no one really imagined that you could have a search engine write a term paper for a college kid. But over years and years of collecting data, Google figured out how to deliver that data into the marketplace a whole lot different. Got everybody all excited. When I think about my friends over there at Keypoint Intelligence, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, gathered up all of our analysts, all of our research firms, private equity, just gobbling them up, gobbling them up, gobbling them up. What do you think that could be about? Do you think the value in the data that these research firms collect is more valuable than the research firms themselves? Because I do. I believe that's why they're doing it. They're buying up all this stuff because they're buying up data. And how they explore aggregated data? Well, they might be able to put a whole new value on that. And that value they put on it might not have anything to do with all the players that gave them the data. When I think about HP gathering up all this data from all these resellers all over the world, what are they trying to do? They're trying to make sure that HP itself can have a prosperous future. And as they look at this aggregated data, they say to themselves, wow, look what we could do now. Look what we found out. We just found out that legal teams spend a lot of money on Tuesday afternoons. Let's start sending out email campaigns. Folks, it's not about what you think the data is. It's about what the aggregators of the data find out as they explore through the data. Please pay attention to this. I think it's time that our industry really started paying attention to their associations. It built up these associations with the correct tools to help the dealers in our new world. We need to be basing contracts on the year 2030, not on the year 1990 and 80. We need to start looking at the threats around us in a whole different way. Maybe it's time the associations out there in the marketplace start bringing in some younger talent from data, younger talent from legal. We got to start doing this, folks. Maybe it's time a lot of the old folks get the hell out of the way and let the younger generation come in and take control of their own future. Because things are going to change drastically in our industry. And quite honestly, I believe that we have to stop mitigating the threats of our industry and start eliminating them. I want to ask everybody a question out there, and you can think about this, because I thought about it and I was like, wow, yeah, that's right. I'm thinking about the analysts in our industry and the media in our industry. When they think about mitigating something or eliminating something, and that something is me, what do you think they're thinking? Boy, we'd love to eliminate him. We need to eliminate him. If we could eliminate the end of the day with Ray, we could live in our status quo fun world, and we could do all the same things we were doing for the last 25 years, and nobody's threatening anything else. We wouldn't have to worry about anybody showing our articles. We wouldn't have to worry about anybody calling out some of our analysts. We could just live in this happy utopia world until the bus just ran off the cliff. Maybe it's time we eliminate some of the old style media, some of the old style analysts. And maybe it's time we get more into the days with Rays. That's what I'm thinking. Because if we're going to shake shit up, let's shake it up for good. Let's go down a new road. Because everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll